lactate, most of you would probably get this mental picture. On the other hand, Supreme Court took this the more scientific route when an ex-employee of Nationwide named Angela Ames decided to sue her company for sex and pregnancy discrimination. Today I want to touch 3 main points. Let's start off with our first point, which is the responses Ames received when she got back to work. After coming back to work, after having her second child, Ames asked to go to a lactation room to express milk for her child, at which point she was sent to the company nurse. And when she got there, the company nurse denied her access to the lactation room due to not having a badge. At this point, she was a little confused, and right after this, her boss comes and tells her that she only has 2 weeks to finish all of the work that she hasn't done since she left work. So she's a little bit, in fear. She doesn't know what to do. Let's go on to our second point, and that is the responses Ames receives from her boss. At this point, Ames is a little upset, and she's in pain, and she's crying. She goes to her boss and asks, anywhere, just give me one place where I could express this milk. And her boss is a little fed up now, and she tells her, well, the only thing that you can do is go to the sick room. But you should know that there are germs in there. You might not want to do that because that can harm the milk you're going to give to your child. But Ames is completely and totally devastated. She has no idea what else to do. She's denied access to the lactation room, and she's in pain, so she goes to the sick room, regardless of germs, regardless of anything. When she gets to the sick room, she finds out that there's someone in there, and she cannot use that room. BNA.com shares with us that the department had told her right after she came back, go home to your babies. And right after she told her that, she dictated her resignation letter to her. Ames she didn't know what to do. She was completely and totally shocked at the fact that right after coming back from having her child, she's denied access to the lactation room. They tell her she can go to the sick room. When she gets there, there's someone using the sick room. And all of this starts building up inside of her. And finally, her boss tells her that she can resign and go home to her babies. This did it for Angela Ames. At this point, she had absolutely no idea what to do anymore. She'd tried everything that she possibly could. So she sat there and she wrote out her resignation letter as her boss had told her and turned it in. Now let's go to the last and the third point, which is what the courts decided to tell Angela Ames when she resigned. The Supreme Court dismissed her case because, according to them, Angela did not take the proper measures before resigning. I'm guessing they wanted her to go to HR, they wanted her to take various steps before taking this problem so far up into the 8th Circuit Court, which we know is the Supreme Court. That was only one of her problems. The second one, as HuffingtonPost.com shares with us, the court says that men can lactate too, and therefore this is not a sexist comment or a sexist term that was used. She just simply, men can also lactate, so therefore there is absolutely no problem. This concludes my speech for today.
Thank you. Questions?
Yes.
Timothy.
What is your topic?
Sex and pregnancy discrimination.
Okay.
What did you say?
Sex and pregnancy discrimination.
It was a little confusing to me because I didn't understand what the topic was. So,
Oh, I stated it in the beginning.
oh, I didn't
When Angela
catch
and-
it, so.
Oh, okay.
Any other questions?
Why did the
Don't
Supreme
look at me.
Court deny her case? I mean,
Yes.
they denied her case because she didn't go through the proper protocol
Mm-hmm.
after?
And the last thing they said was that men can lactate too. So therefore, that's not sexist.
What was her case about? What was she trying to do?
She's trying to sue nationwide.
For having her resign?
I'm sorry?
For making her resign?
No, because, well, they did all of these different things. They didn't let her use a lactation room. When she tried to ask for other rooms and other places to go, there were people using them. So it got to the point where her boss told her, resign. And she didn't know what else to do. She was kind of fed up with everything, and so she turned in the...
So would you think her message would be having accessible accommodation for women who are lactating at work, and they shouldn't have to be in that type of situation?
Yes.
There's some form of law like should be in place for women who are lactating.
Yes, as she said, there was a lactation room, but she wasn't able to use it. So that day, she tried doing various things. I mean, I've never lactated, but I'm sure my mom says it all the time that it hurts and it's really uncomfortable, and you have to do it. And they didn't let her do it. So finally, when her boss comes and tells her, go resign, what else is she gonna do? She's gonna sit there and not resign. Like, she felt like they were coming at her too fast, and so she decided that she wanted to resign. And once she did, that's when she decided to sue the company for all of these different things.
And she lost.
Yes.
So overall, in general, we are still living in a sexist society that don't give certain rights to women. Is that what the justice said?
You could say that.
Any other questions? Any other questions? Lillian, do you feel the case was settled in a proper way? What do you think the outcome should have been if it was up to you?
I personally do think that she could have gotten the case because, I feel like the Supreme Court took all these different routes, like saying that men could lactate. How many men do you know that can and have lactated, So I do feel like there were certain points where they were being sexist towards her pregnancy and all. The part where they said that she should have taken different measures before resigning, I definitely do understand that, and I feel like that goes for absolutely anyone. But when they said that men could lactate, and they also said in the case that when her boss told her, go home to your babies, that could be used for women and for men. So I do feel like to a certain extent she should have gotten that case, but the Supreme Court didn't give it to her, and I don't think that was fair.
Any other? Oh.
This might be too far into it, but did you find any cases where men actually lactated? I wouldn't think that they'd be able to unless something was wrong with their pituitary gland or something.
Well, the men do have, if you speak scientifically about it, they do have that ability. They have everything that is needed to be able to lactate. But lactation comes when you're pregnant and you're having a child, your body automatically produces
the hormones from
the hormones. So technically, men can't lactate. If you're going to go into the scientific part of it, then yes. But men can't lactate. As of now, I don't think we've seen any case where men have been able to lactate.
They can lactate when they take steroids. Very hard.
Put you under the bus. Just took you under the bus. I know you're gonna point at me now.
Any other questions? Thank you so much, Lillian.